Disclaimer: all of my stories are embellished for dramatic effect. Everything that happens in my stories is true, but I do spice up the spacing and timing to weave an epic tale. Take my stories with a grain of salt and try to suspend your disbelief when reading them. Getting frustrated because you take my story at face value will not make your time and my story enjoyable. You have been warned. Previous posts: https://www.reddit.com/r/tales-from-tech-support/search?q=author%(3) of the lightning count 1 $sword $new $restrict_sr $on. $me equals me, you know it's serious when I just list me as me. $DA equals double agent, our spy. $SN equals snitch. $WL equals Wahoo lady in her final appearance. $REC equals contracting company recruiter. We are getting out of the realm of ancient history and into the realm of recent events now. Another post I made about this company recently helped set off the catalyst for the endgame. The time of our spies party was drawing closer and the information we needed was being collected. I was still getting the reports of the snitch not playing ball with our ticketing system. Cherry-picking the best tickets, ending calls before confirming tickets were resolved, making people call back later in the day for non-existent server issues, and simply just not doing his job. On top of this, we started collecting his email logs between him and the sales manager who was his real boss. Yes. You read that correctly. He was using company email to communicate with the sales manager who put him up to it, and when we found this out it was like Jeebus himself placed the Holy Grail onto our desk and told us to drink it up bihatches. That's one. Once I had everything that I needed from my team, I told them to return to normal in regards to the snitch. No longer needed anything else on that front, so I let my team know to watch their backs and let them know to just continue working. Everything was being handled and we were in the endgame here. We had 2 termination-level offenses. 3 more to go. Seeing as the snitch figured he was above the law, we had been collected his usage data in significant portions. This paid off really well in a way we did not expect. We expected him to use YouTube when it was unblocked on the firewall, but it never came up in his history. It was strange because he had his headphones on quite a bit even when he was not on a call. Our server guys gave us the reason for that. Seems he had made his own website to get around our YouTube monitoring. It was a simple white page with a single input. When you paste a YouTube video's URL into the bar, it plays the video in embedded mode. Since he was not going to YouTube's website, it never raised any red flags. I walked over to the snitch and had a small conversation with him over it. $me, you aren't in trouble, but there have been rumors that you have been on YouTube. I do not care whether you were or were not there. I am just warning you that people are watching. If you are caught on YouTube, you will be written up and walked out. $SN, sure thing, man. Thanks for the heads up. $me, no problem. Keep up the good work. I had the server guys set up a redirect on our firewall to a section of our domain. The website it redirected to was a white website just like his, only instead of an input box it just had the text of "I warned you. Come to my desk now." It took 2 hours after the conversation and redirect were set up for him to come to me. I already had the write-up ready and simply asked him to sign it. I told him to return to his desk and get back to work. This was 3. The day of the party was the day of the second write-up for the snitch. Our spy sent me a text message Saturday telling me to call him ASAP. $me, what's up? $DA, you need to drug test snitch ASAP. $me, details. I need lots of details. $DA, he brought weed to my party and smoked it with a friend of his. I hung up with DA and called my boss. $HIT, it's Saturday. What? $me, snitch smoked weed at spy's party. $HIT, hilarious laughter over his side of the line, you know what to do Monday then. We ended the call and prepared for Monday. We were not prepared for Monday. I informed the Wahoo lady of the issue Monday, but something broke with the Citrix servers, causing everyone's files to no longer show up. My role in that fiasco was handling angry calls and assuring people we had backups of everything and that the server team was locking it down. Wednesday of that week was the day that Wahoo lady made her mistake and accidentally allowed access to our database to unauthorized users, costing the company millions of dollars to fix it. I refer you to my post history here for that story. This put a hold on our plans as we had to clean up the mess from $WL, but she did give me a nice going away present. In the other thread, I mentioned my final words to her were just BS talking. This was a lie. We did have our nice exchange of goodbyes and I did give her a going away hug, but between those events she gave me a present. $WL, I have a solution to your snitch problem. $ME, how do you know about that? $WL, contrary to the aloof, misguided individual you write me as on Reddit, I am very good at my job. Just like you have said in your posts. $ME, I change a lot of details and embellish conversations in my post to protect identities. How do you know about my posts? Which is ironic because this conversation has almost no edits in it. $WL, I am very good at my job. Was good at my job. She then opened her phone up and pulled up Facebook and showed me the snitch's profile. $WL, take a look at his pictures. I scroll through and I see a lot of pictures of the sales manager in them. A large amount of pictures of the sales manager in them. $ME, they are friends? So they hang out together. $WL, yes, they hang out together, go to the movies together, eat lunch and dinner together, go to Six Flags together, golf together, adopt puppies together. Eat dinner one night and get breakfast the next day together. Dress up as Bert and Ernie on Halloween together. The realization of what she was saying hit me and my eyes went wide. All kinds of scenarios went through my head, but I could not bring myself to actually do them. I just sat in her chair and rubbed my temples. $ME, I can't use this information. As much as I do not like them and as much as I just want to use this info to light the fire and watch it rise, I will not do that. I can't. $WL, you do not have to because I already did it. I shared this information with both the VP of IT and the VP of Sales. $ME, why? $WL, I like you. I do not like him. Sales manager, also we have rules regarding disclosing relationships between employees and management. $ME, you know he is married, right? This has the chance to ruin his marriage. $WL, it will be handled quietly. But you need to get rid of the snitch on your own first before anything can happen. Upper management bows to this guy's whims because he makes the money. But if you had a surefire reason for the snitch to get fired, then sales manager will lose his edge and likely his eyes and ears into your department. In the meantime, I let the VPs know of the relationship, but they do not know that he is snitching for the sales manager. Now it made sense how this guy got hired in the first place. Sales manager put in a good word for Snitch and Snitch got the job. Snitch did not actually become a snitch until January, when sales manager did not get his promised promotion because they expanded the IT department threefold, reducing the budget for his promotion and pay bump. In his warped mind, the only solution was to fire off the IT people and free up the money. Armed with this new knowledge, I left her former office feeling physically sick and got back to work fixing the major EFF up she caused. Once things had stabilized, about a week later, I went to HR again and talked to the new head of HR. I let her know about the party and let her know about the weed and told her that I needed to have him drug tested ASAP. It turns out that a company-wide drug test was actually already in the works in the form of entire offices being tested over the course of the month. So they just bumped up our office to be the next one tested. We do hair tests at our work, so you can imagine the amount of people who just randomly decided to cut their hair after the email went out. A few days later, the company we hired to do the drug test showed up at our office to collect samples. We did not even wait for the results of the drug test before we started to act. We called his contracting company and told them we wanted to terminate his contract regardless of the results of the drug test, but to wait for the results to come in. We had enough to fire him without the drugs, but those helped too. Funnily enough, sales manager decided it was a good time to go on vacation the day of the drug test and had been out since they cut the hair till the end of my post. It took a week, but he came back positive for not just weed, speed, heroin, and Xanax and a few others. This was fireable offense 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 through goddamn 1000. HR got with us about the positive tests and informed them of our plan to drop him immediately at the beginning of the day that Monday. They set everything up and informed security of the plan. Monday morning security informed me of when his badge was activated on the door. I intercepted him at his desk and did not let him work. I asked him to come with me for a meeting and to keep up. I walked quickly to the meeting room and opened the door for him. On one side of the table were our head of HR, $HID, a lawyer for the company, a lawyer for the contracting company, and various other managers from other departments who wanted to sit in and evaluate me. I am being groomed for management in IT. Most of the other people were merely there to observe and said nothing. I asked him to sit down on the other side of the table and sat right across from him. Everyone stared at him for a second before my boss started talking. $HIT, we are letting you go. $SN, why? He responded really quickly in a surprised tone. $HIT, really? You have no clue why. He was actually mad because he read through the emails and was about to go off on Snitch. I laid 3 files in front of him quickly, not wanting $HIT to lose it and blow it for us. $Me, this file here is your ticket logs. You cherry-pick the tickets you want to work and then dump the calls when they turn out to be harder than you thought. I pointed to the next one. Here is your internet usage, proving that you bypassed monitoring to YouTube without us knowing what you were doing. You then continued to use YouTube even after I gave you a friendly warning. Pointed to the third file, and this one is the email logs with the sales manager proving your relationship to him and your plan to gut our department for his personal revenge. You have actively worked against us since the Citrix project finished and we were transferred to the help desk. $HIT lays a paper in front of him, and this is your drug test. You tested positive for 3 illegal substances and 2 prescription substances. They also found chemicals consistent with over-the-counter body detox kits people think allow them to beat drug tests. I would ask you for the prescriptions for the 2 you tested positive for, but that is moot since the illegal drugs have already sealed the deal. Me, there is a lot I want to say right now. You have no clue how badly I wanted to say these things, but given the circumstances it would be inappropriate. You were a good migration tech, but your quality as a worker deteriorated slowly. I can see why now. I recommend you get treatment for your addictions. I have lost friends for those same drugs and I do not want to see you in the papers one day. Your recruiter will give you some information for some free drug programs if you are interested. I motioned to the recruiter for his contracting company to come in and he was served his termination papers. $Rec, here are your termination papers. Unfortunately, since you tested positive for drugs, we must also remove you from our recruitment lists. We wish you luck in your future endeavors and I personally hope you get the help you need for your addictions. His recruiter then handed him a pamphlet for a local, mostly free drug program for getting people clean. The snitch sat there with the most defeated look on his face. He was breathing so heavily I thought he was having a heart attack. Security came in and asked for his badge, snapping him out of his stupor. He was almost in tears as he handed his badge. We informed them of the BYOD status on his phone and he handed it to be wiped using the iPhone reset option. Never do BYOD, people. Ever. It looked like he was going to say something during this entire process, but he just used breathing techniques to keep himself calm. I think they were breathing techniques at least. He was then escorted out of the room. $Rec, I need to apologize to you for the trouble my employee caused you. Me and $Hit both told him not to worry about it. Legal and everyone else reviewed the case and all agreed we were pretty much in the clear on everything. Substance abuse terminations require legal oversight to ensure everything was handled properly. The tapes for the meeting were pulled and sent to the VP of IT for review. I sent the email logs to both the VP of IT and the VP of Sales. Once everything was said and done, I sat down and started typing up this story. Yes, I started typing up this story about an hour after we let the snitch go. Halfway through typing up part for the VP of Sales called me and $HIT into his office. He wanted to apologize for the actions of the sales manager and informed us that they asked for his resignation. All parties agreed that him leaving quietly was for the best of everyone involved. The VP personally apologized to me and $HIT and said that this company was not in the policy of creating hostile work environments for its employees. He gave us his personal guarantee that if anything happened like this again, he would squash it personally. On a personal note, he asked us to unblock Facebook so his employees can stop complaining. He said that no one actually cared about that rule before. It was only there to get rid of dead weight or to trim. We thanked him for that, and I went back to my desk to finish typing up this story. All websites were unblocked and everyone started listening to music on YouTube again, as well as watching sick game footage from Insert Game Here while they worked. That is that, people. We won the battle, the war, and got the VP to agree to our terms. I felt so relieved that the cancer of our team was gone. I cannot say I was happy because of the way it happened, but I can say that I was satisfied with the outcome. Not good and not bad, but acceptable. Normally when I have seen or had to let someone go, I felt bad. But the only thing I felt from Snitch was betrayal and pity. He used my trust and abused my goodwill, and it hurt all the same. But it was a different kind of hurt this time. Friday edit. Even today, 5 days after writing this, I feel bad for the guy and honestly hope he gets the help he needs. I just hope I never have to go through this again. Now please stop camping my user profile spamming F5.